So hello, I'm going to be explaining how to install RARs onto your computer. And then I'm going to explain how to write a few basic lines of assembly language. So this is for the first lab, and you can follow along with the PDF of the first lab. This can be found under Files and then Lab 1. So here's the lab PDF, and then here's a file that we're going to use later on. And you can basically follow along with this, and this will tell you everything you need to know. So the first step to installing RARs is to make sure you have Java installed on your computer. So I'm going to open the command prompt and type java-version. And so for me, it is installed. If it says that Java is not a recognized command, what you can do is just go to the Java website and download the installer here. Once you download it, you're going to need to locate Java on your computer. So it'll be under Program Files, Java, and then this bin file is what we need. So go ahead and copy this, and then go to your environment path variable. Path, and then you can add a new line and paste that file location that we copied. And then once you do that, you should be able to run java-version. It should be installed. After that, we need to download RARs. So if you go to our PDF, there's a link here. So go ahead and go to this link. And then the latest release will be under this link. And go ahead and download this rars.jar file. Once it's downloaded, we can go to so just like basically save it in a location that you feel comfortable with, and then navigate to that file location and open up your command prompt. So you can run this jar file by typing java-jar and then the name of the file. And there you go, the development environment opens up and we can begin coding. So we're going to start off with a file from the canvas, and so that again could be under files, and you're going to want to download this RISC-V, hello RISC-V file. Let's go ahead and download that, and then drag and drop it into your file location. So you should be able to open that file by going to open, and open, and here we are. And so this is just a basic program to print hello world. So we define message, which is a variable that has the string hello world. And then in our main category, here's a few commands that will basically print that out. So to run it, we click this assemble button and then play, and we can see that hello world was printed. And so let's say I want to print something else like your name. So you can just go here and then replace hello world with your name. Assemble, run, and there you go, I printed my name. So now let's just make a quick addition to this code to get used to what these commands are actually doing. So in our lab assignment here, it explains that we want to have it print out, this is the CDA 4205 lab, and then we want the user to be able to put in a number and then to print out that number. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And we're going to make a new variable called message2. And I'm going to paste that string in. Okay, so now we have a new variable called message2. And since we knew that this code here printed out my name, we could probably just copy and paste it for it to do the same thing, but I'm going to explain what's happening here. So first what we do is we do LIA7 and then 4. And so what this is doing is it's copying the value of 4 into the A7 register. The A7 register tells you what command that we're going to run. And if we go to the documentation, which is here, this tells you what each integer, what command each integer refers to. So the integer 4 will refer to the command print string. And so we're copying 4 to A7 because we want to print a string, which is message2. Now we need to make sure that we're actually printing the right value. And so if we go to the documentation, we see that the input is the register A0. So we need to make sure the register A0 has the correct message. So we're going to put LA A0 and then message2. So now this is setting the register A0 to be message2, which will get printed. And then we do eCall to run the command. And there we go. So it prints my name, and then it prints, this is the lab. Now, if we want to make it say, this is the lab, and then an integer that the user can input, the first thing we need to do is go to Settings, and make sure this option is checked so it asks the user with a pop-up box. And now we need to actually read an integer from the user. So let's go back to the documentation. So where does it say read int? Okay, that's 5. So we're going to go back here and we're going to make sure A7 is set to the value of 5. And then we can go ahead and run eCall. And so what that's going to do is it's going to ask the user for an input. Now if we look at the documentation, it says the output, it will save the int to the A0 register. So once we run that command, whatever value the user puts in is going to be saved to A0, and that happens to be the input for the printInt function. So we're actually good. We don't need to move that value to a different register because it saves it to the correct one. So what we can do is we can now go ahead and put and copy the value 1 to the register A7 because 1 is for printInt as opposed to print string. And I'll run eCall. Okay, so let's see if this works. So I'll enter an integer, I'm going to enter 9. This is Robinson, this is the lab, and it says user input 9, and it printed out 9. Now, I think the IDE is causing this text user input to be displayed. So if you didn't want to have it appear here, what you could do is you could put this function at the beginning, and then you would need to use the move command to copy the value from A0 to another register, because otherwise then when you run this command, it's going to copy the message string to A0 and delete whatever was in that spot. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about it, just email me, or you can come to my office hours on Thursday, and I'll also be having another office hours just in case on Tuesday this week. Alright, I'll see you in class Wednesday.